This is More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. Welcome into another edition of More to Say with Randy Naughton. We really appreciate your support so far. Season one's been going great. If you want to follow my shenanigans, you could do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, or on my website at randynaughton.com. And basically the premise of the whole thing is talking with interesting people and having interesting conversations. And one of the more interesting people you will meet out there is a St. Louisan whose heart is in the Lou through and through. And not only that, he's a world-class athlete. He's three-time welterweight champion. Say hello to the great Devon Alexander. How are you?
How are you, Randy? It is good to see your face. I hope retirement is going well for you.
Well, this is me retired. So no,
Yeah.
that's the thing with me, Devon. It's like, retiring is, I guess, subjective because some people like to sit and do nothing. I don't like to sit and do nothing. I'm kind of a worker bee. And one thing I've always loved was talking to people and getting to the meat and potatoes of their story. And on TV, and I'm not knocking it, I loved my career for so long. You really didn't have that much time to get into stuff. So this is where we're going to get into stuff. And this is what we're going to do.
You got a good couple minutes, and yeah.
Yes, sir. And that's what we're going to do. First of all, I want to talk about you and your career. You're retired now. And a lot of people, let's take it right out of the headlines. A lot of people are talking about the Tyson Paul fight coming up in July. You've got an event coming up in St. Louis, which will include Roy Jones Jr. making an appearance. And he's the last one who fought Tyson.
Yes.
And it came to a draw, and there's a bunch of controversy about that. Have you talked to Roy about this upcoming fight with Paul and Tyson?
I have, and Roy has my sentiment about it. Jake Paul just better be careful because he's still a fighter. No matter how old, he's still a fighter. And once a fighter, always a fighter. You still gonna have that mentality of fight.
I don't think I would look sideways at Mike Tyson. He is still scary. There's video out there of him in the ring. There's still video out there of him doing his thing.
Yes.
And it looks like even though he's 57, he hasn't lost a step.
Absolutely.
I think Paul needs to be a little scared.
Absolutely. The guy, first of all, Jake Paul's not a heavyweight.
Right.
Let's just take that for instance. He's 168, middleweight. So Tyson's a good 250 right now at most. So it's dangerous.
Yeah, all I know is Netflix is gonna make so much money off of this. It's crazy.
Money's a good incentive for people sometimes.
I guess so. Yes. I guess so. You couldn't pay me $1 million. But we want to talk about what you are up to right now. You have been in St. Louis. Obviously, you were born in St. Louis, and you were the pride of the boxing world for so many years. And you always, always, always represent St. Louis. Every time I see you, you're wearing a hat with the St. Louis on it, or you're always your shirt has the arch on it. Why is it so important for you to represent the Lou?
Well, first, why it's so important for me to represent on a big stage is St. Louis, and you've been in the news for so long. We get so much flack about how dangerous our city is.
Yeah.
How bad our city is. We always and we do it to ourselves. We always on the murder capital list, for the most murders, and we do it to ourselves. But I do that because there is some people trying to do some positive. There is positive people that come out of St. Louis that is doing some positive. So, and St. Louis needs that light, that shining light. And so when I'm on HBO, Showtime, ESPN, they look at the cap, they say, okay, St. Louis, he's from St. Louis. Okay, oh. So it goes back to, okay, some positive coming out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
So that's my mindset.
Well, you are an incredible ambassador for this region for so many reasons. You started boxing at a very young age. You were 7 years old, and I understand that you weren't even allowed to get into organized boxing until you were 8.
Yeah,
But there
yeah.
you did it. You saw hardship. You lost friends to violence. You lost friends to the legal system. They're in prison right now. Did that scare you to see that? How did that affect you and how you went forward?
Oh, how did that affect me? That's a good question, Randy. Because right now I could be dealing from trauma from that still. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, I call it unchecked trauma. Stuff that I've seen as a kid, I just kept going and never dealt with. Sometimes, I remember playing this day, a guy, I was walking down the street and I could hear a gunshot, and you could just see him hit the ground.
Mm.
And all I did was just turn back around and just run because I just know I'm not trying to see that, and see my brothers that I've spent years training with, started with when I was 7 years old. And as we got about 10 or 11, that's when I start to see a pattern of my brothers getting killed. Like, whoa, I come to the gym. Whoa, Johnny got killed. Oh, whoa, Terrence got killed. Oh man, did you hear about it? He got locked up, for selling drugs. Oh man, he got life for committing a murder. Just it was just a hardship. But I thank God for this. He gave me the ability to stay strong, stay the course, stay consistent, and seek out the mission, finish the mission, and that's become world champion.
And one of your mottos is fight in the ring, not in the neighborhood. And
Yes.
unfortunately, you talk about trauma. There are two people in St. Louis that we're talking about right now, a young lady who got into a fight outside of Hazelwood East High School, and she's now has brain damage. And a young man got stabbed outside of a junior high
True,
school, outside of a middle school in South. This is like within the last week. So
true.
when you say this region needs a light and needs more positivity, that's
Yeah,
what you're trying to do. You're putting
yeah.
together this event. It's happening on April 6th. It is the Devon Alexander Boxing Classic, and you are bringing young people from all over the region. I'm talking
Yes.
Detroit, they're coming from Springfield, Centerville, Peoria, Minneapolis, all over the place, and St. Louis. And it's going to be on the campus of Harris Stowe State University.
Yes.
Why do you want to? I know you did it, what was it, last year you did one of these, but
Yes.
now
Yes.
it feels like it's going to be bigger and better this year. um
Yes.
why do you feel like this is important to show these young boxers from all over the country
Mhm.
that there is light?
So my experience, and I've been to a lot of cities, thankfully, and at an early age. But I've seen every city has a problem, and that is kids getting into trouble, kids fighting, kids killing each other. Every city has some similarity to St. Louis. So my thinking was, okay, let's bring some cities together for a night of boxing for on a big platform, because that's what I'm doing. I want to use my platform that I have to give some positivity what the kids doing, because these kids are doing something positive. They're not gang banging. They're not out there doing no good. They're in the gym training for April 6th. So I want to give that beacon of light, and to the other kids that's going to come to the April 6th, to show them you do not have to be out here stabbing, fighting. You mentioned the fight with Hazelwood. That was horrible. I mean, just so
Horrible.
horrible, man. Like come on. And that's another thing, Randy. Boxing, I recommend boxing for all boys. Period. And they don't have to compete. I'm not even talking about competing. I'm just talking about the discipline aspect of it. And I tell people all the time, if you was to take boys at a young age, they got anger issues, they got bullying problems, that has self self-defense problems or whatever. Take them into boxing. You will see a difference in a month. Because in boxing, you got a controlled setting. And you cannot just say, just because a kid is getting the best of you, I'm going to take my gloves off and kill you. And that's what's happening out here. Kids getting upset, they're going to get a gun and they shoot.
Right.
Boxing will help them calm down. If I get in the ring, I don't want to kill my opponent. I just want to get it back at that moment, get my win. After that, we can shake hands and be done with it. That's what boxing does. And a lot of kids need to see that.
And you talk about the negativity that's out there, and not just in the St. Louis region, but literally all over the country. And, unfortunately, it's the negativity that comes into the headlines and the awful videos that we see online. There are a bunch of great kids out there. There are people like yourself making a difference, who are making a difference for these kids. So I don't want to disparage the work that you
Yes.
do and the other people do. There are amazing places for them to go, amazing things for them to get involved with. But, sometimes the nature is against them sometimes, the
Yes.
streets are
Yes, it
against
is.
them. And it's
Yes,
so
it is.
sad to see. But to me, it's just really wonderful to see you doing what you're doing. You were born in St. Louis. You saw horrible things. You said that you still might have delayed trauma, and I don't doubt that. I don't know how you could go forth, but you just do. So
Yes.
you're opening up a new gym. You're having this event. Tell us about the gym you're opening. And I know you're looking for equipment and donations and things like that to help in the
Yes.
region.
Yes. So the gym is going to be called the Devon Alexander Sports Foundation. And my idea for opening the gym is to be like a mini Matthew Dickies. You can never replicate a legendary Matthew Dickies, but that's my mindset when opening this gym, because I want kids to be able to come, have a safe haven. If they want to eat, they got to eat. They got some food there. If they want to box, if they want to do, that's why I call it the sports foundation. I just don't want to limit it to boxing.
Nice.
I want everybody to come and enjoy the space that I'm trying to create. And as a kid, I always wanted to open my own rec center as a kid, because I saw firsthand how it can keep kids from off the streets, keep them busy, get them some games to do after school, get them some after school activities. It helps. I'm from that era of St. Louis City Rec, and it helped me facilitate and not get into anything bad. So I want to do that. I always want to do that. So right now, that's where I'm at the point in my career. I want to open that. And yes, I'm taking donations. And yes, some equipment has been donated. City Rec has donated a gym, and some other people, gyms, donated some equipment. So we're just at the beginning stages of just putting together everything and what we're going to need to get the project finished. But
That's awesome.
I tell you, Randy, I want this thing to be here for years to come, and I just want kids to just come and enjoy it. That's
And
it.
feel safe and feel loved
Yes,
and feel like a part of something,
yes,
right? And you
yes,
mentioned Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club. I mean, what an example to
yeah,
emulate, right?
yeah,
That has
yeah.
been how many amazing people have come through the doors of Matthews Dickey over there on Kings Highway in 70, right?
Yes,
So
indeed.
many, so
Yeah.
many, so many. So we want to talk now about the event happening on April 6th. Again, it's the Devon Alexander Boxing Classic. It's being held on the campus of Harris Stowe State University. Roy Jones Jr. is going to be one of your special guests. That's kind of
Legendary.
awesome.
The legend. Yeah.
Legend. How many bouts will there be?
There will be 20 bouts in attendance. What I did was I got with the Urban League with my partner James Clark, and what we did was they saw what my vision was, and they said, "Oh man, we might need to get behind it." So I'm teaming up with them. We went to Harris Stowe. Harris Stowe is is a beacon of St. Louis too as well.
Right.
And they said, "Hey, bring it here. You know, we need something positive going on in Harris Stowe, and you are from St. Louis." So they said you can do a seasonal. So they gave us the gym. They say, and the first one last year was a sellout, and we did some promos for that, and the community received my message well about fighting the ring, not in the neighborhood. We need to stop fighting each other. It's not necessary. If you really want to fight, there are other avenues to get it out, and you can go to the gym and literally get it out. So that's what we're trying to push, and push positivity as well, and
Right.
positive kids. But yeah, with Harris Show, April 6th. You can get tickets online at Harris Show, hssu.com. Yeah,
hssu.edu.
yes,
.edu.
yes, yes.
So, and I understand there's going to be like booths and music and all kinds of other
It
things
is.
there too.
Yes, yes. It's going to be vending tables. It's going to be information for you for college. Uh, I just wanted to, when people come to this event, they have an amazing experience. They see Roy, the legend that's there to support them, so they want to give it their all. That means the whole world to them to see a legend sitting
Yeah.
there, and they get to fight in front of him. He can never get that out of his eye. You see it. So
Speaking of that, I want to share a story with you because I grew up watching boxing. Ali and Cosell were two of my favorite people on earth to watch
yes,
together. In fact, I
yes.
talked with Bob Costas about this book called The Sound and Fury. It's about their relationship. But I grew up watching Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard and the Olympic, the Wide World of Sports on the weekend, things like that. I'm a lot older than you, but
No, but you're spending some stuff. You watch.
I
Wow,
did watch it.
I'm
And
impressed.
one of the things that as a sports reporter and people go, I met legends. I mean, legendary people. Who was the person that you were most impressed with? I get the question. Well, Muhammad Ali was
Mhm.
at the America Center and he was signing stuff. Apparently his DNA was in the ink. And this is right when he started having the effects of Parkinson's disease.
Okay,
And he wasn't
okay.
really, and they said no interviews, you could get some video. Okay. Well, let me tell you, Devon, I'm standing there and we're getting video of Mr. Ali, this guy I grew up watching and
Mm.
worshiping. And he just looks up at me as he's writing and he looks up and he winked at me. I almost fell out. Ali
Wow,
winked at me. I'm like, oh
wow,
my, that was
wow,
the most thrilling moment of all my sports career. Is that the
wow.
weirdest thing?
That is amazing.
And that speaks to what you just said when you come face to face with somebody you admire and
Yes,
somebody you've watched and somebody you want to emulate. Well, certainly me, not with Ali, but I just admired him.
yes,
Just
yes,
watching him grow up. So that I think is what the message you're trying to get across,
yes.
right?
That's a story. That's a heck of a story, Randy. Wow. Not too many people can say that.
He didn't say a
Not
word.
wow.
He just winked at me, and that's all I needed.
Wow, that's amazing.
It
So
was
you say
great.
that was right before he got
He just started I think he was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's and they
okay.
said that he wasn't able to do any interviews cuz his voice was shaky and he was having the effects of it, but he had this obligation to sign these things at America's Center, which he did, and that's when this encounter happened and
Wow.
it was just a thrill for me,
That
just a
did you get a
thrill.
picture that day too? Did you?
No, I didn't get a photo with him, but I just got my video for my story, which was enough. I'm good. I was in the same
Yeah.
airspace as Ali, so I'm good.
Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing.
So many years
I'm kind
later,
of jealous. I'm
I
kind of
get
jealous.
I get so excited so many years later, and that's what kids will do when they're with you and with Roy Jones Jr. and with all these
Yeah,
great community leaders doing something good, bringing the light to St. Louis that you say we so desperately need. And I'm
absolutely.
telling you, Devin, I agree. I agree with you.
We
Makes me
just we
sad.
the thing what God has put on my heart, and this is a story I done told a couple people. I have always told, like I prayed a lot to God because I was a poor kid. I was a poor kid. I come from a big family, 13 altogether, eight
Wow.
sisters, four brothers, five including me. 2-bedroom household. The girls had a room, the boys had a room. My mom and dad slept in the front room on a let-out couch. We made do. I don't know how my mom and dad did it. I just looking back, I do not know how they did it. I just thank God that they did. But just looking back, and I just used to pray to God, God, you used to get me out of this situation, whatever it is. And I found out I was really poor when I started to travel for boxing. That's when I really realized, whoa, I am really poor kid, man. I am poor. So that's when I got the fire under me. I got to make something of this boxing. So always pray to God, God, if you was to get me out of this situation and get me to a platform, I will come back and help these kids and do what I need to do and give back. And I'm at this point right now. I'm trying to fulfill my promise to God to come back and do what I said I was going to do.
Well, I admire you like crazy. Keep that flame going. This
Yes.
event's going to be amazing. April 6th, the Devon Alexander Boxing Classic at Harris-Stowe State University, hssu.edu for tickets. I think it's going to sell out again. So
Yes.
I wish you the best of luck with the
Thank
event, and
you.
I know
Thank
it will
you.
be great. And thanks for all you do for being such a great
Thank
ambassador to
you.
St. Louis.
Randy, you have always supported me, and for years, ever since you came in contact, you guys have always supported me. So I thank you. I never got a chance to thank you before you retired. So I thank you.
Ah, that's sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Devin. All right, we'll see you in the ring.
All right, sounds good.
Bye-bye. Take care.
This has been More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. Be sure to like or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.